as a middle school teacher, I kind of wanted to capture a little bit of the adolescent's life, and I wanted to capture something like from a different culture. So I wanted to, of a student going to like a missionary school, of a adolescent from a totally different culture, okay? So, the missionaries, Earth year 3812. You need to accept God into your life, Dad explained, his mouth stumbling over the words. He rushed around, trying to get ready, mumbling human phrases under his breath. Why? I screamed in my head, though I didn't dare say it out loud. Mornings were particularly bad, especially these last few months. It was always rush, rush, rush. Hurry up, get ready. Hurry up. They'll be here shortly. Some mornings, I wouldn't get anything to eat. My dad would pull out some Bible verse he'd learned the week before at the missionaries. We don't live on bread alone. I don't even know what bread is. I guess you consume it. I would have to sneak something into my bag. They never showed up on time, the missionaries, that is. Sometimes they'd be early, and Dad would quiver, trying to suppress his anger and embarrassment at not being ready. Sometimes they'd be late, and that would be even worse. They'd been here for almost 25 years and still didn't understand our clocks. I guess they had their own clocks. Dad would pray for grace, bow as best as he could when they arrived. They would reach out at their hands and quickly pull them back and bow. Usually, there were few words spoken. Father would stumble over a few of their words, always trying to impress them by communicating in their language. They, of course, never even tried to communicate in our language. Their faces would contort in a visual display of happiness. I would quickly get into line with the other students, and we'd move on. The sky lightened to a purple haze as Moon 3 peeked over the mountains. The clouds moved on as the horizon changed from even night to even noon. I could usually see my friends getting ready for the academy. Groups would form here and there waiting for transports as our lines inched along. Some of my friends would acknowledge me as we passed, some wouldn't. The transports would zip in. They'd get on and they would zip out, disappearing as fast as they appeared. I wouldn't be riding any transports for as long as I was at the mission. The missionaries' fragile bodies would never take the speed of the transports. Our lines would move on and the transports would zip past. I never thought it was possible, but I did miss the molecular transports. I used to hate the transports. Zipping in and zipping out was a waste of time, I would think. I wanted my own ride. I wouldn't have to wait for anything. I could go here, go there, whenever I wanted to. But I miss waiting now and hanging out. I don't get to do that much anymore. We get in line, move on, and finally we get to the missionary school and God's house. I don't miss the academy though. The missionaries were much nicer than the instructors at the academy. The missionaries would let us talk, ask questions, pretty much do whatever we wanted. If we tried at the academy, we'd be in big trouble. Once I heard about an older cadet who acted up, and he was never heard of again. But that wasn't a problem at the mission. We ran the place. I don't think they understood us most of the time. They had their own way of doing things. We always had to wait for them. I just didn't get why we had to take turns. Things would go much faster if we could all do the same thing at the same time. I think that was part of what we were supposed to learn. How to wait. Patience, they called it. The important stuff in existence is not about having it now, it's about preparing for it. I'm still trying to figure out what it is. But if we wanted something, all we had to do was ask. If they could give it to us, they would. None of this inquiry protocol that they taught at the academy. I did have to ask them in their own language, but if we were anywhere close, they'd give it to us. They were all about giving and sharing and storing up treasures for the afterlife. All about being servants of all God's creations. Finally, we would get to the mission. After a long, slow, steady parade, the missionary leading us in, one foot dutifully stepping in front of the other. Every step carefully placed, softly landing among the many microbials in the soil. and just as carefully pushing off. Why would they go through all that trouble? I never will understand. I would never touch the soil if I didn't have to. We made our way through the mission and into our classrooms. We'd settle in and wait. The missionaries would pull their four-legged apparatus and rest their bodies on it. They would combine their 10 digits together in front of them, close their eyes, angle their skulls to the ground, and then it would start. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on all your celestial creations as it is in heaven. After 4,000 years, we still don't understand these earthlings, but this God thing seems to make sense. I guess we'll have to wait and see. The end.